Yo, 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 welcome back to the No Cut Sports Podcast with your host, Niall Frazier. And if you could, before we get started, man, could you please like and subscribe to always catch this vibe? So, with that being said, man, let's get right into it. Let me get this mic out so y'all can see my face. Let's get right into what we need to get into, man. So, before I get into what I've seen in the game, let's go back a little bit, okay? Because this is the type of person I am. Certain stuff just don't happen all of a sudden. There are things that lead up to things happening, okay? So we're gonna go on. It's about to be story time, okay? And y'all might not want to hear a story. If you don't want to hear the story, then you can click off this joint. But I got some things I have to say, okay? Starting with this, I'm not gonna give you no backstory. I just started doing this maybe not even this year, a few months ago. So yes, this year, but a few months ago. Okay. But the reason why I started No Cut Sports Podcast was because people think, how I want to say this. People think, okay, I feel like this. When you do anything in life, it's because environment, the people you're around, how you're raised, things like that. Okay. So when I hear responses from people or I hear things from people, you know what I mean? Players I'm talking about the Eagles here. Eagles coaches, Eagles players, whatever you want to call it. In these interviews, my mind starts to wonder things. You feel what I'm saying? So as you know, first loss we took was to the Jets, right? Okay. I'm sitting here like, okay, now Jets playing, with not most of their starters, and we lose this game. So the first, everybody takes a loss, you know what I'm saying? And I said that I wanted to take a loss, but how you lose says a lot too, okay? And then I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, all right, well, maybe they're going to get it together, okay? Nothing happens. No adjustments were made, and if they were, it was minimal. Very minimum. Okay. So moving on, I'm looking at, building up, we beat the 49ers last year. Brock Purdy was out, shout out to Brock Purdy having an MVP season. I'm no hater. I got to call it how I see it. Excuse me. So, Brock Purdy's having a good season. He was ready to come back up in here. They beat the brakes off us. Okay. Now, people want to sit here and, say whatever they want to say. Like I said, and I look at like the responses of people because it just shows me like not even how you're raised, but where your mind is at this time. That's what I'm saying. Like when you're successful, you don't do certain things, if that makes sense. Like successful people carry themselves in, professional ways. You know what I mean? Regardless if it's you're high or you're low. You feel what I mean? So when I heard following up to the 49ers games, right? And we've been talking about Bradbury in our secondary getting cooked, Darius Slay getting cooked, whatever the case may be. Debo says what he says about Bradbury, right? And he said some stuff about Bradbury last year. Bradbury, kind of the reason why we lost the Super Bowl because of the PI. I mean, was it PI? Whatever. Interference, whatever the case may be. But so it's been a target on. I'm not gonna say a target because the target is well deserved for Bradbury. Because even my man Monroe told me that when they got rid of him, he was like, he's cooked. And you know what, Rolly, he was right. Okay, but my thing is this: when you're number one, I gotta call it how I see it. Because Devontae, my man too, but AJ Brown's is probably going to be considered the number one receiver on the Eagles. When your number one receiver on the Eagles comes out and defends Debo and not you, that makes me think things. Because if my thing is this, if that's my man, not even he's not my man, but we on the same team. Because if you play sports, everybody got teammates that ain't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't always on the same page when it comes to how they act or how they perform, whatever the case may be. But you be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but that's still my man. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna go out here and do what we got to do against y'all. I didn't get that from AJ. Then I started thinking, or then the Keely Ringo thing comes out. right? Keely Ringo talking about, I think Keely need to get his start, which he's right, because I did like what Keely did yesterday. I ain't gonna lie. But my thing is this: we've been talking about the defense all year, right? Scheme, okay, take scheme out of it, because I mean it's the same scheme from last year. So I mean personnel's a little different, whatever you want to call it, but it's the same scheme from last year, because that's what Nick Sirianni wanted, right? Or that's what I heard. But we're gonna get into that too, because I just want to take on a little story time. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So my thing is this: AJ Brown in practice throughout the weeks or month or throughout the season goes against pretty much every cornerback, right? So my thing is he knows the good and the bad of each cornerback. So why does he come out like why do you think that he comes out and says these things? Because even he know that he's getting cooked. He know Bradbury not like that. And he know Keely's you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you think Keely's any better, but my thing is this: for him to say that says a lot when you're paying these two. These are two of your starting cornerbacks on the team, bro. You know what I mean? It's like he's already petitioning for him to get him out of here, bro. He's not worth it, which I understand because he's not right. From what I've been seeing these last 2 years, Bradbury not worth that bread, bro. I'm sorry. Call it what you want. He's not worth that money. And if you see this, too bad, so sad, because you've been playing like trash, bro. Trash. And then with Darius Slay too, he can go too. Because at the same time, bro, I don't give two licks of spit. If you had the greatest game of your life, your team lost. So when you lose, like my coach said, all that should go out the window, bro. Excuse my French, but all that go out the window. You could have had a 50-point game, but a 50-point game and a loss, who care about? You didn't win. You didn't win. So don't hop on Twitter, don't hop on socials talking about I'm this and I'm that, but my team is losing. I don't want to hear nothing from you. You can go too, because what has he done this year? Please. Then it make me think as a man, why are you sitting here? I wouldn't even want that narrative written about me. I'd have figured out a way to play through this injury, play through my knee injury, because you want to sit here and gallivant off at the mouth. You know what I'm saying? You want to rip and run off at the mouth talking about I'm so good, this, that, and the third. I just had one of my perfect games of the season just to go be like, well, I'm about to go get my knee operated on. To me, that sounds like a cop out. Call it what you want. I don't care. Because my thing is, I already know that narrative is out there that me and this man don't get along. So now they take Sean Desai back up into the box and put Matt Patricia on the field. You don't think that sounds strange to me? Come on, man. Fletcher Cox talking about after, what was it, the 49ers or the Cowboys loss? Whatever, one of them losses, Fletcher Cox had his press interview in the locker room. He's saying, we all got to stay, all the players got to stay together because something's going on in the locker room not just amongst them coaches, but amongst them players. And then I'm kind of and it's crazy. It might be crazy to say, but do y'all not think Jalen Hurts might not be the problem too? Let's be real, man. Y'all think Jalen Hurts not the problem, especially after last night. Yeah, my man was sick, but that was the ugliest performance I've seen in my life. And I'm tired of them using him as a running back. For what? I don't want to get too crazy on Jalen, but my thing is this. Some of this blame got going on him too, bro. I'm sorry. Y'all can defend the man all you want. Like, I'm still rocking with Jalen and all that. Perform like you did, sick or not. Sick or not, bro. That don't make and this is just not this game. It's been throughout the year. Throughout the year. Now, one thing I will say is a good coordinator, and I always think that, and I always thought this, excuse my French. I always thought this, that, like, look at Joe Flacco right now with the Browns. Him being an older quarterback, an older backup quarterback. Not that he was even a backup, but they had to bring him in there. But him being older and experienced plays a part in the game too. Because just as much as it's physical, it's mental too. It's mental. So my thing is, look at Josh Allen, losing Brian Dable. He just went downhill, but now he got, Joe Brady, whatever the case may be, picking him back up, making the offense look like what it needs to look like. We lose Shane Steichen. MVP Jalen to what the hell are we doing out there, Jalen? That plays a part in it. And that's what leads me to believe that the players are turning on the coaches. Because as a head coach, forget Brian Johnson. I don't give a damn how good he knows Jalen Hurts. I don't care. And sometimes that's not, and I'm going to put it to you like this. Just because somebody knows you, what version of them do they know of you? Okay, I don't care how long Brian Johnson's been in there. If he still thinks that Jalen Hurts is supposed to be out here running the ball the way he does, throwing the ball deep the way he does, he should not be coaching, bro. Because this is two different looking offenses. We don't run nearly enough RPO. We just started implementing the motion. Like, it was nice to see in the first half, but then they went away from it. So where is the person that's the head coach that's supposed to keep everything together? Nick Sirianni. Because I'm ready. You can go too, player. You can go too. You can go too. If they're going to get rid of Doug, when they got rid of Doug, I was like, what? Man, I didn't know the reason why. Because I thought it was just supposed to be Carson Wentz going and Doug was going to stay. Keep Jim Schwartz and all that, whatever the case may be. But they ended up getting rid of Doug, and Doug won us a Super Bowl. So if you think I'm about to take a light on Nick Sirianni or anybody on this team, hell no. Not at all. Not a chance in hell. Excuse my French. Because this is not Philadelphia football, and I've been saying it almost every time I make a video that this is not Philly ball at all. We look like a bunch of sissies out there, man. Then we got this fascination with these old players like Jason Kelce. Like, he's older. I understand if he wants to retire. Thank you for what you've done for the team. But we're going to have to start letting some of these older players go and get some fresh blood up in here, some younger blood up in this joint, because it's showing on the tape. I'm telling y'all, it's showing. Why can't our front four get? And it's a combination of a lot of things, but it's a lot that's going on in this locker room that is starting to spill out onto the field. And like I said, I didn't even talk about the game yet. I didn't even talk about the game. Jalen being sick, you can play that, but I don't even want to use that. But it's a lot from top to bottom that's going on in that locker room. I don't know whose offense well, we know it's Nick Sirianni's offense, but at the same time, bro, we can't get nothing clucking. And then if we do, we go away from it. So my thing is this. It's time to make major changes with the coaching staff, with some of the players on the team. Get rid of Bradbury, get rid of Darius Slay. Because I'm not Darius Slay just thinking he just whatever he want to think. That's fine. I know he probably getting a little bag from his podcast. But if he don't want to play tackle and all that, then just don't be on the Eagles, bro. Because that's what we want. Just leave, retire, whatever, do what you gotta do. Okay? Because it just makes zero sense at this point. Makes zero sense that this type of stuff is going on amongst grown-ass men. Amongst grown men. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And I'm tired of hearing the same thing in these press conferences every week. Just be honest and say, yeah, we got some things going on in the locker room, but we you know what I'm saying? But we getting it together. You know what I mean? Like, all due respect. Like, I understand, things happen and people don't see eye to eye. But this is a waste of a season, pretty much. And I'm going to just keep it real. This is a waste of a season. Because if you think that I think that they're going to go beat DeVito twice in Arizona, hell no. No. You got no. If you're asking me right now, and I didn't even, and to be honest with you, they were like, yeah, they got to win all out. No, it's not happening because that's just not how football happens. And even if it does happen like that, we don't even play to a standard that he's even winning. Like, I don't know if you get lucky winning 10 games, bro, but I mean, we ain't played I can't say we didn't play, but we played talent. But my thing is there's levels to the talent, and the 49ers are on another level. When we played the Cowboys, they were on another, not I don't want to say another level, but my thing is that we were nowhere near prepared. We were nowhere near prepared for that game. Neither one of them games we was prepared for, and that comes with coaching. So when you get Kevin Byard coming out, we're going to do our own player scout, and then, you know what I mean? And then they had a report that said that that players felt like it was just 15. I ain't even talking about the game yet. So a report that came out about Sean Desai that he said that players didn't feel like he carried himself with confidence. And I try to tell people this. It's like, bro, you have to, if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. And that's hard for a lot of people to do because they don't want to work on themselves. They don't want to admit that they are flawed. We are human. We are all flawed. Me, myself, I can definitely tell you I'm flawed. But I try to make I try to do my best to correct those things. As a man, I feel like that should be your mindset. Oh, he ain't even. Nah. Josh, hey, Josh, why don't you tell me about breakfast on Christmas, brother? What's up, bro? Come on now. But anyway, sorry, I got a text message from my brother. But my thing is this. As a man, and I know I don't know if I ever talked about it on here, but there was a portion in my life I had a certain individual, okay? Man never put his hands on me, nothing. But when I tell you his mental, the way he will mentally, like, bro, he just it will burn me up because there's nothing. I knew there was nothing I could do mentally. He would just mess with me. And I'm like, why is this happening? Like, what am I doing wrong? Because I thought I was a pretty good kid. But my thing is this. He was getting me prepared for what I'm doing now. Shout out to you, Mr. James. You was getting me prepared for what I'm doing now. Because there's not nothing I don't think I can't do. I don't care what situation. I don't care what's going on outside. Okay? Because I know things are going to happen. That's kind of what he was getting me prepared for. There's going to be outside noise, but that don't stop you from doing what you got to get done. Period. Dang, that's what he would say. Period. Like, anyway, but my thing is this. That's how I came up. That's how I was raised. My thing is I couldn't always. I did know better. I couldn't have possibly known better at 15, 14, 12, 10. You understand what I'm saying? So now I'm at the point where it's like I'm old enough to understand I have to carry myself a certain way. I have to do things a certain way to be considered a man. Carry myself like a man. And I don't know about Sean Desai, but you can see up there in the tone of his voice about how he would answer the questions. Mr. James used to tell me, he'd be like, yo, speak up. Speak up. What you sitting there? What you whispering for? You want somebody to take you serious? Say what you saying and mean what you say. And you don't get that from Sean Desai. I'm sorry. We're going to come out here and we're going to have a hard-hitting defense, and we seen none of that. But Mr. James also used to say, if you're going to talk the talk, you have to walk the walk. Like simple and plain. That man got up every morning, went to work. So you know what I do? I get up every morning, go to work. I make sure I handle my business as a man. My thing is this. When I have to go to my job and do what I do, I own my own business. There's some days I don't want to get out and go clean. There's some days I don't want to get out. And I got people that work for me and all that, but I still got to do stuff too. And there's days I don't want to do that. But in my mind, because of how I was raised, I know I got to get up and get it done. I know I got to figure out a way to do what I need to do. And Sean Desai hasn't done that. He has not proven and shown to these other grown men that he is capable of doing his job. Especially when Kevin Barr comes out and says he's going to do the player scouting. It makes no sense. So you know something had to be done. And I feel like the only reason why Brian Johnson is still here is because that offense has too many hands on it. Simple and plain. Yeah, he might have the relationship with Jalen Hurts, but I'm sorry. Don't nobody care about that. I could care less. And I said, what version of Jalen do you think you have? Because clearly something is not matching up. From last year to this year is two different Jalen's, bro. And the common denominator is the offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen. Because if Nick Sirianni has this great offensive mind, I'm not seeing it. And I have never seen it, to be honest with you. Like, he's gotten us to the playoffs, I understand, but we always had a pretty good team. Not a great team, but, you know, good O-line, good D-line, you know, somewhat manageable quarterback. So, yeah, you probably can make the playoffs in the NFC East. You know what I mean? All due respect, no disrespect to the other teams. But I said it's going to get to a point where experience is going to overtake this talent crap, okay? You need experience when you have this type of talent. And you hired two non-inexperienced coordinators. And then, to be honest with you, Nick Sirianni is an inexperienced coach. Yeah, he's been to the playoffs and wins and stuff like that, but he is inexperienced. And then don't get me wrong, like, you feel good you beat the Chiefs regular season, but we wanted you to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Like, come on, man. Like, and I understand, you know, you feeling good. Woo, how about that? Whatever the case may be. But then you still got to walk the walk. If you're going to talk the talk. Right back to what I said. And when I didn't do what I was supposed to do, you know what happened? Punishment. I ain't have TV for 3 months. I couldn't tell you what came on. PlayStation, I had my PS2 taken away. Pokemon cards. I'm telling you, bro. Books. I'm reading. Look, come on, man. I ain't had nothing. I'm sitting there in the room for a while. I thought I was in jail. Like, come on. So my thing is this. This is how I was raised, and this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing. Same thing with my dad. My dad was the same way. I never forget. Never forget. First grade, first or 5K, something like that. I couldn't spell God. Right? Couldn't spell the word God. 3-letter word. But I was so scared, bro. I was so scared because my dad said, he took me in the back of the basement. He said, if you don't get this 3-letter word one more time, I'ma beat your ass. I said, what? Wait, what? G-O-T. He came back. I knew that word, boy. When I tell you I ran up them steps so fast and I was crying to my mom, I was like, oh God, I thought I was gonna die. I ain't gonna lie to you. But that fear, bro, as funny as it is now, that how you want to call it? The knowing of something possibly could happen to me is what made me remember. And that's what it was. It might be bad trauma and stuff like that. I don't want to call it trauma. Like kids call it trauma. I ain't even gonna call it that. That's how you need to raise your kids. But it follows into you becoming an adult. And I feel like that's what the Philadelphia Eagles done got away from. We're not holding nobody accountable for their actions. It's all finger pointing, baby. And that's what's going on in that locker room. And I don't want to even hear no more of these excuses at the press conferences. Do what y'all need to do. Nick can go, Darius Slay, Brian Johnson, whatever you want. A lot of people need to go. I don't want to say we rebuilding, but a lot of mofos need to go. So now with all that being said, let's talk about the game for a little bit. Because I didn't get to see the whole game. Because you know why? When I seen that we could only score 10 points in the first half, or was it 17? 10 points in the first half, and then he scored that second touchdown in the second half. I said right then and there, I said, bro, it's nothing has changed. On the offensive side, on the defensive side, nothing has changed. I can talk about the game. Shout out to Drew Lock. He did what he was supposed to do. Y'all can sit there and talk about the defense for the most part, but for the most part of that game, Matt Patricia had them dudes doing what they needed to do. Y'all can sit there and call it whatever you want. People want to sit there and say it's just the defense. You're tripping. If you're going to sit here and tell me that they're going to keep running these same 10 crackerjack box plays that they've been running the whole season, and you're going to tell me that's a good offense, you're crazy. And anybody that has their little hands and fingerprints on the offense, they need to go because it's trash, okay? They should have took Shane. They should have left either promoted Shane Steichen as head coach because, yeah, we got this love fascination with these players and coaches and stuff like that when they're doing good, but look at them when they do bad. Shane Steichen would not have had this happen, bro. It'd have been no way we'd have lost 3 games in a row like this. All due respect. To see what he's doing with Gardner Minshew out there with the Colts. To see what he's doing with Gardner Minshew. And I like Gardner when he played for the Jags. But to see what he's doing there with Gardner Minshew in that offense. It just makes me even believe more that Nick Sirianni is not prepared to be a head coach. And we already knew the coordinators were not ready to be no coordinators. You can sit there. You can have your takes on it. I'm not gonna sit here and say not Nick, but Jalen being sick, they ain't play a part. What? I don't even care no more. To be honest, if we win these next 3 games, so what? It'd be icing on the cake. But to go to first, we're going out the first round of the playoffs. You can punch that ticket, punch that joint, and you can sit here and say you ain't got faith in your team. Oh, I got faith. But I gotta be real. All season we've been putting BS on tape, and that BS is finally caught up to us. You got Jalen coming out and saying people aren't committed. What, bro? You just threw 2 picks. What's up with you, cuz? Like sick or not? What is up? What? You not committed. You not committed, bro. It don't make no sense that it's like people and that's what happens when you start losing. All the stuff starts to pour out, and it's been pouring out onto the field. I don't want to. It's not too much more I can say. That we just got cooked by a backup quarterback, And that comes from a lack of preparation with coaching and things of personnel as well with the players. But that is a lack of coaching. I don't care what nobody says. The coaches got to go, bro. So we'll see what they do. I ain't see nothing yet about Brian Johnson or nothing or anything like that. But we'll see what happens, man. But it's going to be some slow singing and flower bringing at the end of the season, man. For real, man. And I don't want to take up too much of y'all time. But things are going to be changing in Philadelphia, man. I will say that. We went out and got players we didn't utilize, which doesn't make sense to me either. But like I said, I don't want to take up too much more of y'all time, man. I just thought I'd get that out because I feel like it needed to be said, man. I feel like they're not asking the right question. I feel like people not analyzing what's going on. But it's a lot going on in that locker room, man. Which is leading to these losses, and players are starting to turn on the coaching. That's the biggest thing I can chuck it up to. Players are turning on the coaches because they're seeing that there's no changes. Like I said, Fletcher Cox has come out before, a week before last, and said throughout the week they make no changes to the defense, which is showing on the field. So Nick Sirianni makes a change with Matt Patricia, but then that in itself has its own problems with Darius Slay. So it's like, bro, there's stuff going on inside that locker room and people are just getting fed up. So we will see what more comes out, but that's what I can give you right now, what I've been thinking. Eagles do have to win out, man, if they want to make the Super Bowl, but I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't see that happening. Anything can happen with this team, but I don't see it happening, man. I'm not going to chuck it up yet because the season's not over, but we're going to see what happens moving forward. But some things gonna have to change, man. Because we got cooked yesterday, man. We didn't even stick to what worked for us. You know what I mean? And I left third quarter. I had to go out and go do some stuff. I left third quarter. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and be mad. Because I know if I'd have sat there and watched that game, I would have been 10 times as mad, bro. Because you see it leading up. Offense slowing down, then that means your defense gotta go out there, and people don't think that matter. Like if your defense got to keep going out there, and like I said, most of the game they had it under control, but Bradbury getting cooked, that is not about defense. He's just not good at what he does. I'm sorry, but my thing is this: defense did what they were supposed to do for the most part. Offense been a problem all year for a team that can't score. What was the average? Like 20-something points for the Seahawks gave up? You couldn't even score the average of what the opposing team gave up. That's to let you know all that you need to know about your offense. Sucks, okay? Star talent out there. Hall of Fame talent out there, and y'all still can't do nothing. That is coaching, baby. That is coaching 101. So with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all watching this, man. I'm sorry I took up a lot of time. I know I probably was all over the place, man. But one thing I do want to say, man, as a man, take accountability for your actions. We ain't always going to be right. We might not always be wrong. But sometimes you just got to figure out, like, you know what? I messed up. We messed up. We're going to work on it. But then when you say you're going to do, when you say you're going to do something, make sure you're going to say what you're going to do, man. Just do what you're going to say, excuse me. Because it's getting to the point with the Eagles, because I got to relate to the Eagles. They're going out here and saying the things, and they ain't doing the things. And with that, it's repercussions, man. So my thing is this: it could be good repercussions or bad repercussions. But it's on you. If you take that accountability and you try and work to get better, I can respect you. But it's a lot of people not taking the accountability and then using it internally to fuel them to get better at all. It's just a lot of finger pointing. So with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all watching the No Cut Sports Podcast. If you haven't, please like, comment, and subscribe, as you know, to always catch this vibe. And I'm going to holler at y'all, man. But it ain't looking too good for us, man. So we're going to see what they're going to get into. I think they play the Giants next. And we'll see if they can do it. But maybe Tommy DeVito go out there. He might carve us up. I'm not even going to lie to you, man. I'm not going to lie. The way we playing right now, it's not good. It ain't been good. And you gotta accept that, man. We gotta accept that. So it's been a good season so far, but who knows what to expect in these next couple of weeks. But with that being said, man, I'm gonna holler at y'all. You already know. Now from the No Cut Sports Podcast.